Hang on, one moment, real quick. So we're live now. This is the Daily Run broadcast. I'm just going to introduce so I'm 11th on the list as for yesterday's run, which is third for that run, and I'm going to begin now. Okay, you can continue now. Sorry. I always put that piece in the beginning. Well, it takes place in the same context as all of it too, like created by Jews, written by Jews. It's all pretty much the same. Whereas you have the Quran. Muhammad was not a Jew or a Christian at all before starting Islam. He was just a desert heathen like the rest of them. So he probably just didn't know anything at all about what he was talking about. I think most, if not all, of the early Muslims were essentially heathens. They wouldn't have had the ability. Heathens, just non-Jew, non-Christian. They wouldn't have recognized any thing about Islam that stands out as, hey, this doesn't really match up with the other. Just would have went straight over their head, I think. Hang on, I gotta fix my wire. Yeah, I seem to remember that actually Muhammad and his people were of a particular, like a moon, I could be wrong about this, a moon worshipping cult. They were idol worshippers, and they had like 365 idols, one for each day of the year. That's all I can remember, but that's like the religion that he came from that to Islam, and apparently took a lot of stuff from it with him. technology. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Joseph Smith was frequently asked the question as his project was taken off. Why would God choose somebody like you to do all of this? You're just an illiterate farm boy from, what's special about you? Why would he pick you? He didn't have an answer for that. The best answer, yeah, he didn't have any. He did have an answer. Well, so okay, he had an answer, but it was not a very good one, I think. I'm trying to remember exactly how he put it. Something to the effect of, God has a habit of using very humble things to enact very great things. I can't remember his exact explanation, but he said it's a thing that God does, and it's kind of true. I don't know. There wouldn't. Yeah. I don't think Muhammad was ever asked that, though. Why would Allah choose you for this? Always seems like these founders of religions of this kind are basically terrible people. It was a lot easier when I was in Scientology to dismiss L. Ron Hubbard's bullshit because he didn't make claims that he was chosen by God to do what he did or anything like that. I was always like, yeah, he's just a dude. He's just an asshole. Yeah. My mom actually said to me one time, I think it might have even been in a text. If it was, then I would still have the text. That she feels about Donald Trump the same way that I do about L. Ron Hubbard. Problem was when she said that, I had already come to the realization that L. Ron Hubbard was a piece of shit. says, "You tell me which is easier." Oh wait, was that the one where he did that? I don't remember. Yeah, to say he's forgiven his sins, or to say take up your bed and walk. Shit. Sorry, I blew myself up. I didn't die, though. I would have died. I have a chip on my left arm. Reduces the damages of explosions moderately. If I did not have that chip on my left arm, I would have died just then. Yeah, that was stupid of me. I knew there was a laser there. I turned around to walk past it too quickly and ran right into it. Damn. I don't remember if I'm even on the first floor or not still. Oh wait, no, I'm on the second floor because I went to the Subaru. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. Almost got killed. Oh, Dr. McGee brings that up almost every time it comes up in the Old Testament. For example, matter of fact, if I go to the example of Jacob wrestling with the angel, that's probably the first time he brings it up. Or one of the biggest, where he explains that every time, in his opinion, he says, "This is my opinion, and some people don't believe me, and that's okay, but if you want to be right, you'll side with me." And then he says, every time you have this sort of the Spirit of the Lord show up in the Old Testament, that he thinks that's the pre-incarnate Jesus. It's Jesus himself. Yeah. I'll have to pull up that passage from Genesis where he says that. I can't remember exactly where it's at. Genesis 30 something, or no, 32 is Judah and Tamar. Probably be somewhere in the 20s. 26 maybe? The angel of the Lord being the pre-incarnate Jesus. Damn. Yeah. have to decide. I don't have enough gears. I want both of these chips. I got 25 gears. One of them costs 21. One of them costs 13. I'm gonna take the using grenade gives 5 more gears or plus 5 bullets in the magazine. I know I'm gonna ditch both of them at some point in the future. You know, I'm not even gonna get either one of them actually. I need to go back to the sewer hole room, and I'm super low on health. I've killed every robot on this floor though, so I can't use the healing grenade I have. Where was the sewer room? I think it's this one. Yes, sirree, it is. In that movie, the Ridley Scott Exodus movie, instead of a burning bush, it's portrayed as like a really young child that Moses is speaking to. It's quite weird. It's like a really young child, like looks like maybe 4 years old, something like that, but speaks as an adult. I only watched that movie one time, and it was years ago, so I don't remember exactly. I didn't like it all that much. Okay, Gods and Kings, yeah, it's a well-made movie, but it's not done with like a serious aim to be historically correct, and it's not done with a serious aim to be consistent with the Bible, so it's a very odd place that it kind of sits in. What's that? Yeah, just doing their own thing, I guess. Christian Bale's a good actor, but I don't think he's right for Moses as a role. Yeah, Charlton Heston did a good Moses. That's another thing about that whole depicting the Exodus story. Most depictions, I think, don't show Moses as being as old as he was. He's often just looks middle-aged. But, I mean, I don't know, even the Bible treats him a little weird with his age, because it says he died, he's 120 years old, but he didn't have any eyesight problems, didn't diminish in strength, he's aging like William Shatner. Hey, William Shatner should play Moses. Hey, Shatner's Jewish. Yeah, he was raised Jewish. Parents were religious. He knows the Exodus story. He's old. He's 95. This would be 105 years. He should be Moses. Oh, I don't know. I was talking with ChatGPT about it. I said the only other person I can think of who was in similar shape at a similar age was Jack LaLanne. He died at 96, though. And Jack LaLanne lived an extreme life of ascetic devotion to physical fitness and health. And still only made it to 96. I mean, I say only 96. I mean, that's really good, but some people do better. I thought it was hilarious. We made it to what? Yeah, he's only 96. I thought it was hilarious when Betty White died like 2 weeks before her 100th birthday. She caused a huge ruckus because all the magazines and stuff were already being printed to like celebrate her 100th birthday. And she died right before it, and they were like, "Oh crap!" I was working at Walmart at the time. I remember a bunch of them they just put out anyway. Betty White's 100. I think there were something was going to happen on TV to like celebrate her 100th birthday. That didn't happen. I mean, Shatner, but see, the thing about Shatner, too, is he's not had anything serious go on health-wise, like, in his whole life. He's never had a heart attack. He's never had a stroke. He's never had any kind of a serious medical episode like that. The biggest thing, other than his shoulder that just broke a couple months ago, the only big medical thing I'm aware of that he ever went through was like 15 years ago. He had kidney stones. And he was on set of a TV show that he was filming when he suddenly went into extreme pain. I've had kidney stones twice. I know exactly the type of pain that he went into. And he passed out on the set. Yeah, and then they took him. It was a news article right away. They were like, "Oh, William Shatner passed out on the set of his TV show," and they took him to the hospital in an ambulance. Just got the assault rifle. And then a little while... What's that? Okay. Ooh. Damn. Well, all right. I'll let you go then. I hope she gets better or figures out what it is or puts a stop to it. Okay. All right. Love you too, brother. I'll talk to you later. All right. You too. All right. Bye. All right. I was on the phone there. Sorry about that. If you only heard half the conversation, probably didn't make much sense. Actually, let me get the volume up on this. What the hell? Shoot me in the back, will you? Thought I saw a sniper rifle. Guess not. I only got 35 gears. This is super low for where I'm at. I'm not gonna bust my balls over the gears today. Ooh, you know what? I would like some speed, please. This chip saved my life. Thank you, Chip. I want to leave it in a place of dignity. I will no longer be encountering the type of trap that the chip saved me from. So, for anyone who's watching now or in the future, pretty much all day, the world's been sitting on the brink of a nuclear apocalypse. Donald Trump's been threatening to destroy the entire nation of Iran, which he says he can do in a single night. So everybody assumes he's talking about nuclear weapons. He hasn't said he's going to use nuclear weapons, but he's given everybody every indication to think that's exactly what he means. He said he was going to do it tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Piece of crap rifle. And Iran's only response to his threats today was to say, "We are ready to die." And then a couple of hours ago, I guess, Trump posted to his Truth Social that he's going to delay his annihilation of Iran for 2 weeks. He was urged to 2 people from the Pakistani government. I'm quite sure the Pakistani government is very concerned about the nuclear annihilation of Iran being their very next door neighbor. This probably would cause great distress to the nation of Pakistan. And the fact that Donald Trump has yet again backed down from some insane deadline that he set will make today be forever remembered as Taco Tuesday. Taco, of course, being an acronym that stands for Trump Always Chickens Out. Did I go and get this one up? Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I did. Even for all of the bullshit that situation is, I am very pleased that the world is not going to end in a nuclear war today. Everybody also realizes that Trump's 2-week extension is just standard bullshit that he does. When he says 2 weeks, he means he wants you to forget about it and move on and just bring it up over again. I don't need 2 Uzis anymore, but I am going to keep the 1. Trump learned the 2 weeks thing, I think, from Roy Cohn, one of the most sinister human beings to ever walk the earth. And the 2-week thing is intended for you to forget it. Everybody forgets about things after 2 weeks. I mean, there's huge montages of videos you can watch of Donald Trump blowing things off by saying he'll do this or he'll do that. 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now, we're going to reveal our comprehensive medical health plan. 2 weeks from now, we're going to reveal our comprehensive immigration reform. 2 weeks from now, we'll do this. 2 weeks, we'll do that. He has been saying that he has a plan in place to replace Obamacare for over 10 years. It was only in his debate with Kamala Harris where he partly admitted it and said that he has concepts in mind. So that means his other claims were bullshit. I don't remember who he did an interview with, but he did this one interview where I don't know if it was Leslie Stahl or Barbara Walters, who it was, but he was talking about his plan to replace Obamacare, and she was given this like really thick book. It was like 4 inches thick, and when handing it to her, they say, "Here it is. Here's our plan. This is what we're going to put in place." So obviously that was bullshit when they did that. That was no plan. Pretty good shots, huh? The second set of sewers. The sewers that have no sewage. I wonder what causes things like what you just witnessed for this barrel to just spontaneously turn on its side when I opened that door. There's nothing moving here. It would take up almost all of my gears to get this. Nah. We can live without it. And if it comes down to me having to choose between the Uzi and the revolver if I encounter a grapple gun, I'm gonna choose the Uzi. So what in the hell was this thing healing? I don't know. I'll take that shield. Taco Tuesday. You know, I've mentioned before that I really like to go to Taco John's. It's one of my favorite fast food places. At some point last year, I got my order in a bag that was sealed with a sticker that said, "Here, it's always Taco Tuesday." And next to the phrase Taco Tuesday was a registered trademark symbol. So this told me that Taco John's at least claimed to be the trademark holders of that term, Taco Tuesday. I didn't get too deep into it, but I found out that they gave that up after some kind of battle between them, Taco Bell, and LeBron James over who can own that phrase, or if it should be owned. So the sticker was actually like old stock that they had that they just hadn't used them all yet. They are apparently no longer going to claim that they own Taco Tuesday. Do I want to dual wield assault rifles or keep my sword? I'm going to keep my sword. All my damage chips are on one hand, man. Damn. I could really go fast. Nah. In his message today, Donald Trump said that today would be like one of the most important dates in the history of the world. Kind of why everybody thought he was talking about using nukes to wipe out Iran. I mean, if you are going to destroy an entire country in one night, you would have to use nukes. I don't think you could do it with just conventional weapons. The strike would have to be massive. It makes me think of the scene from Star Wars where they arrive at Alderaan and planet's gone. They're in some kind of an asteroid field. Obi-Wan says that Alderaan's been destroyed. Han Solo then says, there's no way you could do that. It'd take 1,000 starships with more firepower than he's ever seen. That's what it would be like to take out a country with conventional weapons. Han's thinking conventional weapons. The Empire actually has like a nuclear option, which is the Death Star. Why am I such a terrible shot? Yeah, you know what? We're almost to the end, so we're gonna save this for later. I'm definitely gonna want this in a few floors, but not right now. Damn it. Man, that almost killed me. Close call. No need for lights. Ah, excellent. So this was the chip I was waiting before I could bank in on this. So what we're going to do now is I don't like this. We're going to get rid of this damaged chip. And we're going to put our healer chip. We're going to put it over this Vigorous Vitality. I'm going to keep this one because the difference is not that big, but the recoil from this lets this gun reload between every shot. Too bad. And also, this chip will continue doing 70% of damage regardless of how much health I have. The other ones diminish as I get injured. Well. So either speed's gotta go or spring loaded's gotta go. What's more valuable? Speed or damage? I'm gonna say speed. But we'll keep that. Just in case we change our minds. Or we hit 1,000 gears very early. Dangerous. That's what happens when you have no damage enhancement. Why am I not healing very much? Big Mac. Big Mac. I need a double cheeseburger and hold the lettuce. Only front and sun, no seeds on the bun. Be up in this drive-through, order for two. Got a craving for a number 9, like my shoe. Damage chip. Granddaddy chip. Okay. So at this point, most unfortunately, Speed has to go. Sorry, Speed. Do not want. Oops. What the hell? Okay. Accidentally triggered pass-through mode. Wonder how I did that. Didn't hit any buttons or anything. Ooh, you know what? I was thinking that 50% boost in healing would amplify my healing chip, but I don't really have a chip I'm willing to give up in exchange for it. So we're just not going to. We're really up against the clock as to getting to 1,000 gears. Nice. Another one. Now I have to give up one of these. Damn, man. Alright, we're gonna do that. But we're gonna keep this. Oh man, a third one. Shit. I mean, this is a chip I have a very hard time passing on. We're gonna keep both of these. Just in case. Now I hope there ain't another one down here. Oh my lord. This one's going to replace. Damn. This one, and actually, this one's going to replace this one, and we're going to keep both of these. Now, I really can't use this third Mighty Mech chip right now because I have to have one of my arms free in order to inflict damage on myself. If I shoot myself with one of these chips on my arm, I will die. But I absolutely intend to use this just as soon as I have enough gears. Damn, I'd have to give up another one of these things if I wanted to keep that 30%. I'd have to give up. Okay, I changed my mind. We're gonna give this Mighty Mech one up and keep these two. And as a matter of fact, we're gonna put one of these into storage. Both of these guys. Damn, only 2 levels. Yeah, that's a good way to make gears. 50% of the damage I take turns into gears. So, I just spotted another good chip. So we'll replace the 20 with 30, and we will now have 60% of the damage we take turned into gears. Excellent. And an even better damage chip than the one we have. Most excellent. Is that the way I came? Yep, sure is. Can't use it. Would love to. It'll screw up my plans. I think if I can get 6 to 8 more bullets from this thing into my stomach, then we'll be at 1,000 gears. Last floor. I really can't use either one of those. The only one I probably will use is this 5%er on the next level. I knew you were there. It's getting dangerous. Made it. So we'll be doing 1,200% damage when we put on that second chip. No way, I didn't think I'd see a second one of these. So now that we're at 1,000, we'll do this. And with these two, we'll be doing 1,600. And we put the 5% chip back on, we'll be doing 2,100% extra damage. Very high. The most you would ever be able to do with maxing out these chips would be 2,400. So we'll be doing 300% less than the maximum you can ever do. Creates instant kills. Like shooting through tissue paper. Okay, that's it. Only the boss remains. And you know what? Oh, never mind. I thought I saved one of my speed chips. I didn't. So there we go. 800 plus 500 plus 800. 2,100%. I believe shooting myself with either one of these arms would kill me in one shot. That's it. .255 killed, 68 minutes, 24 seconds. Places us in third place for today's run. And since we're already there, let's try a weird little experiment. Well, I can't heal myself. It doesn't work. But I said I think that shooting myself with either one of these arms would kill me in one shot. This would for sure. Don't know about this one. Let's test it. I was correct. Killed by final boss. Should say killed by self. In any event, 64,086.6 damage dealt. You know, I might start killing myself at the end more often. I'm already on leaderboard. In any event, that concludes tonight's broadcast, and thank you for joining me.